endurance walk.
Brings images of
I got it the nature walk. I can't do that. So, right?
So just to bring, what's that? To bring some of you guys that haven't been around up to speed on what's going on. That stuff is they're doing like a documentary on the recruit school. So this guy will always be kicking around. So whoever.
So they announced it in the classroom that we were doing the nature walk, which I had previously heard was called the Death March. But they changed the name and said nature walk, and I was like, all right, well, I know this is no nature walk. We're going to be looking at owls and birds. Like, I know what this is.
It's definitely. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Ended up being on my birthday, which was probably the worst present I've ever gotten in my entire life. And I was very determined to pass because I don't want to go by every birthday being like, oh, I was at Fire Academy this day doing the nature walk and I failed. They told me to get out and I was done.
Happy birthday.
I know you didn't know that.
Feels good. Feels good. Isn't that liberating?
Last time on the ground, everyone's like, oh, birthday girl's on the ground.
Happy birthday.
Mikey wants to.
I'll do the cartwheels. I'll do whatever you want.
So Mike is going to be Mikey and John for the nature walk. To the next group for the endurance walk, set up your gear right behind the hose tank.
Quickly. You're out here cooking in the sun. Let's get your stuff on. Let's get going.
Well, again, this is one of those things that's going to make us better today than we were Friday. So if you're going to quit at all, don't quit on this one. Don't quit on this one. And again, we know it's hot out here. We're not going to be running out there. It's going to be a nice, easy pace, but it's going to be continuous.
Okay, go ahead and clip in.
All right, people. And what we'll do is we'll try to take the lead and have him go or her go to the rear and have somebody step up. All right, people, get in a comfortable position. Come on now, get in some kind of order. Nice, easy pace. Get in a comfortable position. There you go. Nice and comfortable. Nice and comfortable. Try to tighten it up a little bit. Let's not get separated. And really pay attention to the person in front of you. You don't want to walk on their heels. We talked about skip breathing last week. And you don't learn skip breathing when you're in a IDLH atmosphere and you're in panic mode. This is where we learn how to do that, or another type. Try to relax as much as possible and focus on getting the next step and breathing.
You're in 5 minutes right now. All right? This is what I want. Slow your breathing down. Concentrate. Close your eyes. Think about your breathing. Slow your breathing down.
We'd stop at each floor and he'd be like, all right, we're gonna switch, and like the person behind would go in the front because they're obviously the most tired, and then they would like lead us out. And he just kept telling me to like control your breathing because I must have been panting like a dog. He's like, you're gonna be done in like 2 seconds if you keep breathing like that. So it's like, okay. But he definitely calmed me down because I was freaked out because I know we had so much more to do. Like it was like the first stair climb we had done, and we had like 2 more to go, and I was like, oh my God, this is awful. Like the gear by itself on my body weighs my body. So I'm like, okay.
Again, you gotta know the floor number. It'll save your life.
I think at that point I'm leading, and at this point I'm like dragging.
Listen to me now. We want the face piece to collapse to your face. You have to have the sense of mind to unlock and undo it, reset, unlock, and get it off. Then we'll just go on regular ambient air. Okay.
Within the first 200 yards, there's a
a little bit of a panic that sets in
Everybody
because
good? Let's go.
you know it's abnormal to breathe through that mask system and to develop your respirations with your step and your endurance, and including this weather.
Are you out of air, out of air? Just crouch down a little bit. Come out to the side here. Don't panic. Undo the lock. No, put it in. Remember what a lock is. The lock's here. Whew. All right, I've got this. Concentrate on doing it. Nope. Undo the lock. Pull it forward. Right there with your thumb. There you go. There you go.
Don't panic.
Maybe a...
Is a kind of almost terrifying experience, but you push through it.
Good job, guys.
And then we get to the very, very end, and my pass alarm starts going off, and I'm like, oh my God. And like I knew what that meant, but like everyone else had been, like is on a department, so like they're kind of used to it, but I'm not.
Everybody okay?
And it starts getting hard to breathe, and I can see the station. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna make this, and fine. Like the hose is slipping, and I'm like, oh my God. And it starts sucking to my face, and I'm screaming Keller's name. Get the Keller, get the Keller, and I'm panicking. I can still breathe because I'm screaming, but like in my mindset, I'm suffocating. But obviously, I'm not. I'm screaming.
Nice and easy. Thumb.
Don't panic. No,
Okay, hold on. No, put it back on your face.
Do it the right way. Now rotate it. Take her off.
Twist that off. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, you were ready.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Got it? Good job. Don't panic. You did very well.
And he came over, ripped it off my face, and like I was fine because I was out. But full panic. It was scary. So, but I'm kind of glad it happened because I now know what it feels like and what it would be like if I ever did get trapped, and like how I really do need to control my breathing, and how like, so if I hadn't run out of air in school, I might have to have experienced it in the real world, and obviously don't want that.
He was showing some signs of wavering earlier, probably another 100 yards. So we had come down into the drill yard. We have gone up 5 flights of stairs. We came down 5 flights of stairs. We went over to the B building. We were on our return trip, and he started showing signs of fatigue. He was slowing his steps. He was, we could hear his exhalations increase. He was breathing quicker and quicker and quicker. I was standing there and I was asking him how he's doing, if he needs to stop. We were encouraging him he only had a little bit more to go. And ultimately, when he passed out, I happened to be there to grab a hold of his pack straps and lower him down to the ground so he just didn't face plant.
Yeah. Okay.
We had a golf cart with medical equipment on it. We had an EMS person there, and we removed his CBA, we removed his jacket, we put him up on the golf cart, we brought him up to the fire station, got him in the shade, out of the sun. So we started the Fire Academy ERT, which is the emergency response team. They did a set of vital signs, they put him on the 4-lead, we cut open his medical release, we checked his medical history and treated him for any signs and symptoms that he was showing. Then he still wasn't as alert as we would like, so it was made the determination that we should have him transported to the hospital. We understand that with the temperature that we're going to see out there, and it's not an if this is going to occur, it's just when. So it would behoove us to be ready for an event similar to that. And he ended up being transported to Concord Hospital, and ultimately that was his last evolution that he took in recruit school. He ended up dropping out. Yeah.
I can do this. I know I can do this. I'm good. I was trying to double breathe like they taught us, I think it was Friday, they were doing. So I was trying to do that, but that lasted maybe 5 minutes, and then I was like, but everybody talked me through it, and like we helped each other, and we all did it, so that's all that matters.
The heat's unbearable. People would say, the heat compared to Iraq is a dry heat, but I mean, 100% humidity with 80, 90 degrees is I'll take the dry heat over this any day of the week. So it's tough. Any way you look at it with all that gear.
And what I would ask you to do is when you can, you do the same thing for one of the students. When they're having a problem, you help them out. Give them encouraging words, you know, help them out with tying a knot, whatever the case is, all right?
You got it, Captain.
Then you paid me back.
All right, we'll gather everybody over here. My God, man, we're gonna have like, we have a line that's pretty long. All right. So you're in the older part of the downtown, right? What do you see for buildings? Take a look. See, okay, lots of brick. What do you think's going on inside? The goal today is basically to show the students the different type of construction that's out there. Building construction is one of the cornerstones to being a firefighter and keeping yourself safe. As there's different types of construction, those will all react differently with fire, and how those buildings are loaded with materials and how those buildings are changed over time, that all affects integrity and different structural strengths. So it's one of those cornerstone things that especially new firefighters really need to have an idea of what they're going to be dealing with, the different challenges. And you see him in the windowsill? So good question, guys, is he's noticing the granite that's in different places. One of the things Guy Newberry taught me when I first got here is that your windowsills with granite below them tend to be your much older one.
Someone lose a shoe?
Sorry?
What do you guys notice about the roof below us? It's flat. What else? Is there any kind of an issue for ventilation? It's got rubber membrane. It will only take you one time of forgetting when you go up with your saw that you should probably keep some sort of utility knife in your gear so that you can cut that membrane out of the way before you use your saw. This is one of those building blocks. Later on, they're going to be doing ventilation. So when we talk about the building construction and a flat roof and a rubber membrane and how that's going to affect the saw when you're ventilating, where parapets might be, where some of those target hazards are. Those types of things are all sort of that building block that gets you to the point that you're ready to start making ventilation decisions and things of that nature.
I think he's hungry. Shit, I'm gonna be on the movie.
So remember I talked about reading the building when you're dealing with fire, right? Right, so you have there, so it could throw you off, but also now we would expect just from looking at this building that there could be living quarters on what? That top floor, right? Which perhaps before was just an attic space. This building in particular, we were very, very lucky to see this before any of the sheetrock is up. They are seeing the studs, they are seeing the beams, they're seeing everything before the skin is put on and they don't get an opportunity. So this is fantastic. Final questions for us. That was easy.
Start your summary. What did you learn today?
What did you learn today?
Give us one.
I learned about that rubber coating on top of roofs that you'll have to cut out before you actually use a tool on.
Or not. And
Well,
if you don't cut it out, you'll wish you had.
Yeah.
A disc saw, you might get by with a disc saw, but a chainsaw ain't gonna work. You gotta cut it out. And ideally, it's best done with both types of saws.
So like how you can tell if there's a sprinkler going with the light bulbs right above the buildings.
There's a flow alarm, depending on what the department wants, but there's always a warning sign, and there might be lights as well. Okay. Especially on the annunciator panel. Anything else? Awesome. All right, great, good. We're going to continue back. Guys, anything else?
Yes.
Guess what? 2 years ago, we were the first team to beat Timberlane for the state championship in these guys. Check it out. Do what you know.
Awesome. Go for it. Awesome. What's up? I promise you this will probably be the only time during your time at the academy that you will be eating ice cream. So if you want it, take the opportunity. They also have
Freshly brewed iced coffee.
That sounds good.
Been looking forward to this whole day.
Just excitement.
What's probably one of the very best classrooms for fire behavior is the flashover can that's right directly behind me.
What do we have here? What do we have at the door? Look at all that.
It looks like a waterfall of fire above your head.
First day of week 3. So yes, it's flying by.
It was awesome. So cool.
How's the ice cream feel?
Good. It's really hot out there.
What's week 3 hold for you guys?
Flashover, and then you just have the hose evolutions.
I think once we get into the exciting, the fire stops will be, I think it'll bring everybody together that much more. Everybody be excited, kind of feeling the same thing the first time.